has taken place for the Scottish Legends Cars Championship. The grid is set, so let's go down and take a look and see how race number 1 unfolds. So let's have a look at the grid for race number 1. We can see them rolling in towards the hairpin behind the Honda Civic Type R here at Knockhill. Dry track conditions, which is always a bonus for the guys in the race car and the spectators as well. There's the guys at SLS Superlap Scotland that are about to be, well, they're about to see something a little bit different. They've never seen the Scottish Legends cars before. This is surely going to be something that's going to make their eyes go wide as the pace car pulls down the tri-oval. We're now heading up towards the red lights, and let's see who gets the jump down towards Duffus Dip. Lights go out and away we go, and it's Ivor Greenwood off the front row of the grid who surely capitalises. He does, he pulls ahead of Mark Beattie there, and we've got Jordan Hodgson in number 8 who's a little look up the inside, but not to be. Jordan just slides across the front of Beattie there as they go in towards McIntyre's. Dave Hunter in the silver 6 car gets a little bit sideways as he hits the brakes for McIntyre's, but manages to gather all that up as he now goes down through with the rest of the pack, and already over the crest of the chicane. Ivor Greenwood starting to put a little bit of daylight between him and the pursuing pack as David Newell goes up the inside of John Bushby into Clark's. Yes, Rally Dave makes that move stick. On board with David Hunter, looking back, that looks like Stephen McGill pulls out from the slipstream there and towards the hairpin. Will McGill come up and say, wow, Stephen McGill up the inside in a big way. David Hunter sees that coming and has to give him a little bit of space here. Ryan McLeish also tries to go through and say that's going to be very tight next to the corner. Oh, contact with Beattie, round they go and over the top as well. What a disaster for those two drivers. Everybody else thankfully avoids that car. Ryan McLeish facing the wrong direction and a bit of his car lying in the track as well. So a disastrous way to start the day for young Ryan. Contact with Mark Beattie as they come out of the hairpin there. But thankfully it looks like both cars have carried on, and there won't be any safety car. That's the big thing. Through the chicane goes Greenwood, then Hodgson, Stephen McGill, David Hunter and David Newell, number 60, just off the back in the white car. Now we're missing number 1, John Patterson. Patterson not here this weekend. Wee Pat out with a shoulder injury as we go on board with David Hunter. Now he pulls out alongside Stephen McGill. Stephen defends as they go towards the hairpin. He takes the inside route. He should be able to control that on the brakes. He can as they get back to the heart of the corner. A little puff of smoke as McGill picks up the throttle. Now will Hunter have a shot again? Because McGill was on the inside, that will make him slower up the main straight. McGill makes his one move. Here comes Hunter on the left hand side. Up over the crest, we can see him just creeping alongside. That should put him in the perfect seat for Duffus Dip, and he'll take that position. He does as Jordan Hodgson goes straight on and down the escape road. So Hodgson trying very hard there. Maybe mistimed a braking manoeuvre and just ended up taking the escape road, but that's what it's there for. It used to just be grass, and you used to have a bit of a wild ride down the grass here and across the apex, and you used to come back on the track out of control. So thankfully Jordan managing to get through. That one is Ben Mason in the pack there as well further down, and he's got Conway Sullivan. That looks like Michael Paxton as well in that battle, but Ivor Greenwood still leads the way as they come in towards the hairpin. Through he goes. He's been hunted down by Jordan Hodgson. Now this pack are all closing up as they come up the main straight. A 5-car battle as they come in towards halfway point of the race as we go back on board. Great on board shots here we're getting from these guys. David Hunter this time down one gear, turns it in. Just look at the steering and put their tiny little inputs on that steering in that number 6 car. Get him through the top of Duffus Dip, and Rally Dave now in number 60. He wants to have a shot of Stephen McGill. Stephen McGill's dropped off the back of David Hunter just that little bit, maybe defending now from the incoming attack from the number 60 car as they come through the chicane and climb up the back straight down. Look at that though, Hodgson defends from his teammate, and McGill has to concede to David Newell. Yeah, David Newell through that car towards the apex. Good move there. They're now side by side towards the hairpin. Cracking Legends racing this as in towards the hairpin. Ivor Greenwood still leads the way in number 37 as Jordan Hodgson peels back towards the apex of the corner. Got to see David Hunter looks like he's trying to get some sort of run through as up the main straight we go. On board, getting a good tow from his teammate here will be David Hunter as they go underneath the Beatson's Bridge. Hunter pulls out. Is he going to be late on the brakes? Yes, he is. And Jordan Hodgson didn't make that too difficult for David Hunter as Hunter slides up the inside. And they probably both saw the incoming number 60 and 15. That's David Newell and Stephen McGill. They've got it together and they're working together to come back towards these guys at the front. And that looks like 52. Stuart Black in the background now. I was wondering where Stuart Black had got to as he makes his way up towards this 5-car battle to hopefully make it a 6-car pack at the front. Look at that on board. Greenwood all over the exit curb there. And does David Hunter close up on the slipstream? Well, eventually he does, yes, but it's a bit too late to do anything with. He has a think about one way, he has a think about the other way. And we see they're side by side. That's David Newell and Jordan Hodgson behind them. Hodgson, oh, sideways out the corner for David Hunter. That's going to make him a bit slow up the straight. Oh, he looks up and there's a look in the mirror there. You can see he's obviously a little bit concerned about that one. A little bit too much opposite lock on the exit the corner. No threat coming from behind as of yet for David Hunter, though, as we go over the top of Duffus again. Now, look at that, right up to the sausage curb goes Hunter. And he really is catching Ivor Greenwood through this twisty partners again. Hodgson throws a good block on Rally Dave in number 60 there. Newell tried to go down the inside, but that was covered off pretty quickly by Hodgson as he go over the crest off the chicane. Oh, kicking up the dust now is Ivor Greenwood. That makes him a bit slow through the chicane. He has to defend up the back straight. And David Hunter again tries to have a little go at getting past the Irishman. Round towards the hairpin. Stuart Black, with all this battling at the front, the light blue car in the background is catching up all the time. And when we get a wide camera angle like that, we can see Black just making his way up. His lap times look very good, very strong. And he'll just be wanting another couple of laps. But he's going to run out of time because we got onto the last lap as David Newell pushes David Hunter up over the crest line. And pushes him past his teammate as well. Brilliant bit of camera work there. Now can Newell cut back at the apex of Duffus? That's what he's trying to do there. But unfortunately Hodgson again blocks him as we come through McIntyre's. Cracking onboard shots. We now look back at David Hunter from Ivor Greenwood. This is the last lap, remember, as we come over the crest of the chicane. The left, then the right. Greenwood's got 2 corners to go after the chicane. He's got to be absolutely perfect on his corner entry and exit a Clark corner so he doesn't put himself in a position to lose any momentum towards that hairpin. And he looks like he's absolutely nailed Clark's as he come through there. Picking up the slipstream now is Hunter, but Hunter's got nowhere to go. He drives into the back of Greenwood. That surely, with Greenwood defending into the hairpin, is going to make the race Ivor Greenwood's barring a disaster. As Hodgson comes in, does he give him a little tap there? Did Jordan Hodgson get very close to his teammate? Up to the checkered flag. Greenwood, Hunter, Hodgson. Brilliant bit of driving. McGill and Black and David Newell goes through sounding a little bit sick there at the end. What a cracking legend race that was. Ben Mason and Billy Waite coming through as well there. And if you enjoyed that, that is only heat 1 of 3 races today. Okay, Ivor, fabulous race here. That was a hard one at the front, mate. Talk us through the race.
Very difficult, made a good start, got a very good start and got away, looked in the mirrors and drove nice and sensible as best I could. But hard work, top 6 drivers, all nothing to choose between lap times, and it's going to be very difficult. Probably the hardest championship that's been ever run in Legends, and you should know you've been in a few of them.
So it's time for Legends heat number 2, and something a little bit different with the Legends. We're actually going to do a grid walk. You don't normally get a grid walk because it's a rolling start, but the cars are on the grid. We've opened the gates, we've brought the general public on, and they're letting themselves mix and mingle with all the cars and the drivers. Now, 2 guys we should probably have a word with her here. We've got Stuart Black and Dave Newell. Stuart starting on the second row of the grid in the blue 52 car. Dave Newell, pole position or second place in the front? Second place, yeah.
Front row outside, yep.
Okay. Yep. A very good first race up until I think a lap to go, and mechanical issue robbed you off a possible podium.
Absolutely. Came from 14th. I think it was maybe 4th at the time on the last lap. We were coming through and the car felt really good. It's probably the best it's felt all year, to be honest with you. Yeah, mechanical, snapped the camshaft. So yeah.
And zapped the lap record as well.
I heard I got the lap record, so happy.
You mean you've not checked?
I've not checked officially, no. I've not checked officially, but...
it's only on loan anyway, we'll let you say that right now. Stuart, you're also flying this weekend very quickly, coming through the pack in that last race, but you're starting at the front in this one.
You know, it's Legends, eh? We'll just see what happens, hopefully get a clean start. I've not had many clean starts this year, so try and make the most of it.
There's 4 of you guys up here, yourself, Michael Paxton, Ben Mason, and Dave Newell. Rally Dave, I forgot his name there for a second, standing right next to me. You guys at the front, you go try and get away because there's a little bit of a change in the pack after that.
I think we're going to need to because everybody's running about the same pace, so we need to try and make a gap right at the start and then sort it out near the end, I think.
And good luck, guys. We'll let you catch up with each other as we'll make our way back down the grid just now. Ben Mason is on pole. He's currently doing an interview for the Circuit Radio just now. So we've got Michael Paxton over here, and it's worth having a little chat with Michael if we could just spin him round here. Michael, you're starting on the second row of the grid. You've got 3 fast guys around you, and you're one of the other guys that makes it a fast 4 at the front. What's the plan?
Survive and then just take it one lap at a time.
Are you going to be watching the mirror, or is it more or less try and get away at the front?
First few corners, we'll see what opportunities present themselves, and then after that, as I said, it's just taking it corner by corner. But there's fast guys at the back as well that will start coming through after the first lap or so. So it's just having some fun, smiling, bringing the car back in one piece. That's all it's about for me.
Good lad. Burnt Motorsport car number 5 there. We've also got, hello there, Hive. Strange, isn't it? Kieran Beattie there, alongside John Crutchlow as well. Back here we've got Mark French, Billy Waite, young Ryan McLeish. Let's speak to Ryan. Keep up, Ian. Ryan, what happened in race number 1? We saw you getting turned round half at the main straight.
No, just first lap, ended up getting tagged up with somebody after the hairpin, but car's straight enough, so go again, try again.
Yeah, it took the back wing off, and no other damage.
Don't think so.
Okay, good luck with this one.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, we've got Stephen McGill over here. Central Scotland car sales driver, and the car, okay, you're a wee bit further back here, but what's your thoughts for the race?
Looking forward to it. To be honest, it's dry, so when it's dry it's always good to, you're selling the legends. It can be quite competitive through the front, but looking at the grid, I want to try and push forward as early as possible. Yeah. The race this morning was maybe 6 or 7 hours really close. The times are close, so, and the guys, when conditions like this, there's not really many mistakes, so it's hard to kind of make up the ground, so the first couple of laps is quite pivotal to try and make and having a good day overall. So
you're going to have to go really hard at the beginning here, because the front 2 rows are four fast guys there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've seen it in the first race as well. Like some of the guys coming through, we kind of bunched up. We got quite a good start in the first race, and we bunched up maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of us, and we're probably holding each other up as much. But for the fans, it looks for a great racing, but it's a wee bit frustrating for yourself being
awful in the car.
Yeah, it's very close. You're braking late. You're trying to. I think maybe for 2 of the laps you're actually on race line. After that, there's not a race line, so you just take what it comes. But no, it's enjoyable. The grids are good, the racing's fair, and that's all we can ask for. So.
Listen, good luck for the race, pal. We'll catch you later on. We'll just go straight back here, because alongside John Bushby we've got David Hunter, casually slumming it against the pit wall here. I'm just slinking next to you. A pretty good first race. Why is everybody going away?
Must smell.
Sorry, mate.
Maybe me.
Yes, maybe actually me. A good first race here, but you're starting quite near the back here for this one, and there's a big 4 guys in that front 2 row that are quick.
No, I mean, we started with our advantage in the first one nearer the front, so it's the way legends go, so you've got to start at the back. So just work our way up, take what we can get, and see where it ends up in the final.
Look down the lens of that camera and tell everybody out there why they should come and watch Dave Hunter driving a legend at Knockhill. What's so exciting about it?
Well, if it's no coming first, it's usually flamboyant, and second, third or fourth.
Well, that'll do. Thanks very much. Good luck for the race. We'll catch up later on. John Bushby, marshal turned driver. We can say that about you now, marshal turned driver, John, but full-time driver now. Not much marshalling anymore.
Unfortunately not, Duncan. I've spent a lot of time now doing the racing and really enjoying it, but that's not to say that I don't support the marshals. If it wasn't for the marshals, none of us guys could come out here and play, and that's what we're intentionally doing. We're coming out here to have fun. Yes, we're out here to race and try and win, but we can't do any of it without the marshals. And sort of a lot of the cars, as you can see, you can't do it without the sponsors either. Sponsors are a very big important part of this. And then of course Knockhill themselves. To put on a day like today, fantastic turnout. SLS, thank you for letting us come and join in with you, and we're having a fantastic time. I hope everybody has a safe day for the rest of the day. What more can I say? It is what it is.
Here's the legend spokesman for Scotland. John, thank you very much. Good luck for the race. We're going to just jump past Jordan Hodgson and Mark Beattie, and we're going to catch up with the Heat 1 winner, 72-year-old Ivor Greenwood, and current champion John Patterson across here as well. Ivor, Heat number 1, good race for you there.
Yes, sir. Very good race. I enjoyed that. Hard work, man. You stand in front of those experienced drivers. They've been wearing a groove around this place for the last 20 years. And I'm an old man. They don't give me any respect. That's the problem. So I got to push the limit.
Oh, you find the limit just about every lap, every corner, every gear change, though, don't you?
Yeah, but I've been watching you for years, and I'm trying to emulate your feet. You still fast around here, Duncan. So if I can even get close, I'd be very happy.
Ivor makes me sound quick, but if only the truth was actually out there. Let's have a good luck for the race, Ivor. So I'm missing off the grid, and my good buddy here, I'll hit the other side, my good buddy here, John Patterson, wee Pat's also missing off the grid. I'd like to say that he had crashed a MotoGP bike with testing at Malaysia. Unfortunately, it was a mountain bike in the woods, wasn't it?
That's exactly what it was, yeah. A mountain bike on the West Island Way, over the handlebars, and landed in a pile of rocks and broke the shoulder, so
You did try yesterday though.
Yeah,
and you were fast.
I could have raced, but I probably just would have been a couple of tenths off for winning. And it's risk against the reward. The risk of if I crashed and hurt it, I would have done that if I thought I could have won. But to cruise round for thirds and fourths and still have the risk of damaging it if we had an accident or the steering wheel get jolted out of my hand, then it probably just wasn't quite worth it. Another week I'd have been fine, but it was a week too soon.
Listen, it's good to see you here. It's strange to see you on the wrong side of the fence, but he was looking for who?
Yogi Bear in the woods. That's what
Can we get a breathalyzer down here, please? Okay. Listen, thank you very much, guys. There you go. That's heat number 2. We've got the grid walk here. It's done. We spoke to heat number 1 winner, Ivor Greenwood. Who's going to win off the front row? Will it be Ben Mason? Will it be Davy Newell? Or will the winner come from deep in the pack? Will Dave Hunter manage to get to the front? Take it from here. So as we see the legends for heat number 2 making their way from a standing start on the grid at Knockhill, and you may wonder why that is. Well, they had a grid walk, so the general public managed to get on the track to see what the legends cars are all about. Meet the drivers, take some pictures, and get yourself on the grid. It was great, it was very busy, and then once the cars made their way around for the warm-up lap, it was back to business for these drivers. Heat 1 was done and dusted. David Newell on the front of the grid with Ben Mason. Newell will be out for revenge in this one after he had a misfire which robbed him of a good position towards the end of the last race, on the last lap. But look at everybody nice and tightly packed up towards the lights, and they go off down towards Duffus Dip we go. Let's hope it's a nice clean start, and at the start of a Legends race it's sometimes like threading a needle. And just watch Ivor Greenwood just sliding up the inside. Perfect overtaking there, and he slots in behind David Hunter in car number 6. You've just got to be patient at the beginning. You can lose so much by just a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, and it can knock the toe out on one of these cars, or even worse, pitch it off sideways into the gravel trap, and that can be you stuck. As we see Mark Beattie going over the top of the chicane a little bit wide there, but rejoins. But it's Stuart Black and Ben Mason pulling away from Michael Paxton and Ryan McLeish at the front just now as they go through Clark towards the hairpin. Mason, a veteran of Legend racing, tucked right up behind the back of the number 52 car and trying to make 2 cars go quicker in a straight line than 1 car. Not necessarily pushing Stuart along the road, but definitely helping him through that air. As Heat 1 winner Ivor Greenwood still quite far down in the pack, but let's not worry too much about that. He will come through as they come in towards McIntyre's. Stuart Black got a good 5th place in heat number 1, and Ben Mason, well, he is starting at the front, so he'll want to remain at the front in this one as we go through. Ivor Greenwood makes a place up past Billy Waite, and he's already ahead of David Hunter as well, as once again Ben Mason uses that vast amount of experience that's logged in that head of his just to try and help get away, to try and pull away from the coming pack, which is going to catch them. It will happen. The pack of drivers create much more speed, and they all work together to get through the traffic here. Jordan Hodgson ahead of Ivor Greenwood just now. Greenwood pulls out from one side to the other. He's having a look up the inside to try and get very close as they go up the main straight and over the crest. Greenwood looks like he's got past Hodgson. Oh, but we've got yellow flags at the top of Duffus Dip, and that was double waved yellows at McIntyre's, the corner we're at now. So something has happened just out of our sight just now as the leaders go through. Ryan McLeish still in 3rd from Stephen McGill now up into 4th place. So Stephen McGill coming through the pack very well as the cars go over the crest of the chicane and up. There he is. Mark Beattie stands at the side of the track. What a disaster for him. Car in a pretty much safe place. No need for a safety car for that one. And David Newell again in the pit lane with a bit of a misfire, and lots of guys from Burnett and David's own camp trying to help fix this misfire. What a disaster for that man. Rally Dave, former series champion, very fast man. Comes from a rallying background, and it seems to work very well the way he drives Legends. Up the main straight, the swim booth car of Stuart Black, car number 52, chased hard by number 22 of Ben Mason. Ben's had that car a very long time, and everybody else single file, as that looks like Jordan Hodgson just popping out from Michael Paxton there to try and get a drive up the main straight as Stuart Black kicks up some of the dust going through the absolutely flat out left-hander of Leslie's. And Ivor Greenwood again menacing as ever coming in towards McIntyre's. Quite calm just now, the calm before the storm. These guys at the front working very well together, I've got to say that. Ryan McLeish holding off Stephen McGill as well. Stephen McGill will be trying to get another podium. He's just inches away from that first victory. It is going to happen for Stephen McGill. but he'll be desperate to get a victory this year to get that, as he puts it, monkey off his back. And oh, who was that? That looked like it could have been John Crutchlow or Mark French there. Anyway, they rejoin at Clark's after a big moment, and Stuart Black, that sideways at the top of the hill, really almost put himself off the road going through Leslie's, possibly overdriving the little legend just now. But Ben Mason would have got a great view of that one. He would have thought Stuart Black was continuing around the Rallycross loop on the inside here at Knockhill, but not to be. As further back down, we've got the Greenwood Hodgson battle, as well as Michael Paxton still in the back of that. He's just behind David Hunter just now. Kieran Beattie also. As the guys come through Clark Corner, Greenwood makes the move stick, as does Hunter. So a double overtake at Clark Corner there. And here comes Stephen McGill, very strong on the brakes as ever in that number 15 car. McGill up the inside. Look at Ivor Greenwood. How does he manage to hold that? Has he held that? Yes, he has. Sideways through the turning point, apex and exit off the corner. Fabulous stuff from the 73-year-old man who drives the legend like he's still 21. As there's a change of lead, Ben Mason hits the front of the pack. Stuart Black makes a mistake going in towards Duff, as we have to say, and it was a good manoeuvre from Ben Mason. He's got a little bit of a lead already, actually. A couple of cars lengths, but that will get closed down on the straight by Stuart Black in that number 52 car. And Stephen McGill still ahead of Ryan McLeish, although Ryan is still all over the back of him. And the ever energetic 73-year-old Ivor Greenwood with David Hunter behind him again. Deja vu for David Hunter, unfortunately. Exact same setup as race or heat number 1. Back towards the hairpin. It's now Ben Mason's turn to soak up some pressure from Stuart Black. But the way these two guys have worked together through this race, they've managed to maintain that gap to the guys in second place, and that is pretty good going. If they can keep working together like this, it will be an absolute all-out war for the last lap. The battle, and that's what the spectators here want to see today, as Mason leads through Butchers. Big compression before the car comes back up over the crest. Off the hill at the chicane there, it lands, and it's all about just trying to play with that opposite lockout towards the exit curb and not run over the exit curb into the gravel trap. So easy to do. The same applies at Clark's, but you don't want to go sideways and exit, or you make yourself lame on the straight towards the hairpin. And look at this, Stuart Black, he's had enough of following. He wants to lead in towards the hairpin. He goes up the inside, he takes the lead back from Ben Mason, and Mason won't put up too much of a fight to that, because he is able to see the bigger picture, and he knows that slipstream is so key in a legend here at Knockhill. Over the straight they go. They're not getting caught by McGill and McLeish as we go onto the last lap now. The board held out on the podium by the start marshals. Black hits the front though for the last lap. What can he do? Can he hold off the hard charging Ben Mason, the man who's had so many race wins here at Knockhill Racing Circuit? Over the first curb of chicane, don't take too much of that or it upsets the car on the exit. Good line through there from Black. He's carrying good speed, and McLeish all over the back of Stephen McGill. Stephen McGill's certainly not going to have an easy last lap as they come round towards the hairpin now. Defending right on the inside white line of the track goes Stuart Black, and that surely must make it his race unless Ben Mason can be very brave at the hairpin and possibly get a cut back through the corner. But Stuart Black very good on the corner exit up towards the checker flag, grabs a couple of gears, and he has taken a very well deserved heat win here. He goes past the checker flag, Ben Mason behind him. Stephen McGill will hold on to a third place just from Ryan McLeish, and it looks like Ivor Greenwood comes through ahead of David Hunter and Jordan Hodgson. Two very happy legend drivers in towards McIntyre. Stuart Black and Ben Mason waving at each other. Another happy man will be that white car, number 15, Stephen McGill. Another podium to his name. A good legend racer, and thankfully no damage in that one. We do have one recovery happening down there. The BT Motorsport car gets hooked up to the back of the Knockhill Mitsubishi, and that will head back round to the paddock. Stephen McGill finishes third place in the Legends Heat number 2 there, and that was a pretty hard fought race for you.
Yeah, it was a hard race. We started quite far back in the grid this time. The start was a wee bit tricky as well. There's a car had a kind of mechanical issue coming into the turn 1, so it was, some cars went left, some cars went right, so just try to pick that space, making sure you're not getting picked up by any of the kind of tyre rubbing and stuff like that, and just get the head down and go for there.
Ben Mason started on pole position, and when the man alongside you is a mechanical failure, there's a massive relief as you go down towards the first corner, but you've still got to work hard for that.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know he had a mechanical failure. I just didn't see him in the corner of my eye, so I was like, well, I've got the jump here into Duffus, so I'll just keep going. And then I saw this big light blue machine come herring up behind me. He got past me, I think it was coming down the back straight. And then I said, well, I'm not going to battle. I'm just going to kind of stick with him. We'll just kind of, battling. The rest of the pack's going to catch you. So he says, right, we'll just get our head down, battle for a good few laps, and we got a good lead, and then we could kind of have a little kind of tussle. But winning, I'd love to win, but to get a second place in a race like that, it's almost as good as a win.
Yeah. Stuart, fabulous race here, a win, but as Ben Mason said, a really hard fought race, and the win must feel even better for you.
It was a really hard fought pace. It was toe to toe all the way. I was watching the cars behind us just to make sure they weren't coming, but fantastic race. Gave us each other space, but it was hard.
Yeah, I've got a really good vein of form going this year. I'm not being cheeky. Where's it come from? As all the drivers, including myself, will know, how the heck is this happening?
I built a new car over the winter, and I had a bit of teething problem with a new car at the start of the year, but hopefully now that's me starting to get the handle of the car, and I've changed my driving style as well to try and adapt to that, and hopefully it continues. Yeah,
time in the car does help, but what's your plans for the final? Because you're going to be starting near the back, and you know how difficult it is to come through the pack in these Legends races.
Plan's always to try and keep it clean. I think that's number one, and then just see what happens from there.
The final for the Scottish Legends Car Championship is ready, and they're lined up behind me in the holding area. The interesting thing about the final grid is the most successful driver of the day starts right at the very back, and that's Ivor Greenwood. This is going to be a cracker. '73-year-old Ivor Greenwood finds himself the most successful driver of the day today, and you're starting at the back. Ivor, what's your plan for this final?
Pedal to the metal and go through any hole that appears.
And if there's not a hole?
Make one.
Okay. You've been very good all day. You've kept your nose nice and clean, and lap times have been pretty good as well. Some great racing, Ivor.
Very good racing. It's very, very tight, Duncan, as you know, and basically any top 10 drivers here could win this race. And I mean, that's Legends for you. It's like that, and you've been doing this a long time. So,
listen, good luck for the final.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the day.
So here we go for the final of the Legends cars at Knockhill. From our vantage point at the hairpin, this lovely raised platform which we're on gives us a great view of the cars rolling through for their formation. Of the rolling start up towards the red lights are already on, and everybody nice and tight together, which is good to see. The most successful drivers starting at the back of the pack, the guys that have had the worst day at the front, such as David Newell and Mark Beattie. Lights off though, away we go for the Legend final, and we go on board with David Hunter looking back at another pretty fast man there. Stuart Black goes right round the outside of him. Ivor Greenwood tries as well. Oh, they've both gone straight on though. You can see the dust cloud there, lots of cars and lots of trouble at the first corner. Mark Beattie wide into the gravel trap and don't rejoin into the patch. Thought he was maybe going to spin across the front of everybody there, and that would have been a bit of a disaster. And it's number 16, it's John Bushby who leads the way in the exit of chicane, and that's quickly changed by the time they come through Clark. Kieran Beattie takes the lead now as everybody starts swarming up behind. The fast guys have made their way through the pack already. Ryan McLeish, where did you come from? And David Newell obviously started at the front after having a bit of a disaster in the previous two races. Up the main straight they go. Big slipstream affair as they go up here just now. We go on board with David Hunter as we go underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge. Braking, and that is number 16, John Bushby, just ahead of him there. But it's Newell from McLeish just now with Michael Paxton, or is that Jordan Hodgson in third place? Went through a shot that quick is Jordan Hodgson, then Kieran Beattie. And Ivor Greenwood runs wide into the gravel now, and let's hope he doesn't spin across the pack. He doesn't, but look at the amount of gravel he brought back on there, and that was Stuart Black at the very back of the pack after that rather, shall we say, gusty moment that he had going into turn one at the very start of the race. But David Newell leads his way through the hairpin from Ryan McLeish, number 71, and number 8, Jordan Hodgson, the top three thus far. Let's try and pick out David Hunter. Looks like he's in 5th place as we go on board with him. Up the main straight, you can see grabs a gear, clutch and accelerator working at the same time there. Underneath the bridge he goes. Braking down one gear, turning towards Duffus Dip and try and catch up with Rally Dave and Ryan McLeish and his teammate Jordan Hodgson. Kieran Beattie still holding a fine 4th place, and Michael Paxton and Ben Mason arrive at McIntyre's together. Pause for breath because it is the Legends final and these things tend to simmer away as Ryan McLeish goes up the inside. It's a good manoeuvre at Clark's, but look at that, being strong as ever, giving him enough racing room there was Rally Dave. David Newell with a brilliant move, just held enough room on the outside to let Ryan McLeish not hit the side of him, but also he never completely threw away the corner, did Newell. Up the main straight he goes. Jordan Hodgson now tucks in behind number 71 Ryan McLeish for a bit of a slipstream, as David Hunter has got past Kieran Beattie now as he go over the crest off the hill down towards Duffus Dip for another lap here. And Newell makes a mistake. David Newell wide through the gravel trap, uses the escape road, comes back on the bottom, drops 2 places. Through goes McLeish, through goes Hodgson, just like that. The car number 60 driver will be absolutely raging with himself with that one. A very uncharacteristic mistake from David Newell there as he goes through the chicane and up the back straight now. All about composure, getting yourself back together as something happens in the background maybe there. The camera quickly spins back round to catch, yes, Stuart Black coming through the pack. And we expected that. He goes past John Bushby in towards Clark Corner. Again, after that mistake at the first corner, Black is on a comeback drive as Hodgson tries to go up the inside of McLeish. McLeish, though, cuts as he's entitled to straight back to his apex. And that lets Newell get a good slipstream for Hodgson. Meanwhile, watching all this, just calmly, soaking it all up. Car number 6, David Hunter. Oh, Ryan McLeish, that's the leader of the race. Ryan McLeish has some sort of mechanical issue on the main straight. And you can see when a car stops just how horrible it is if you're the next car in the line. Great reaction from Hodgson and Newell and Hunter. But what an absolute disaster for young Ryan. Really didn't deserve that, doesn't need that, and a mechanical failure on the straight. Let's hope he can maybe nurse that back to the pit lane, or if it's completely stopped, he will be rolling to a halt. Yes, there he is. What a disaster for young Ryan. And look at that, there's a trained man. Makes the car very safe, doesn't go through the gravel trap, parks it way, way out of sight and harm's way. Unlucky day for Ryan McLeish in the office as Newell and Hodgson side by side through the hairpin. And up they go. Hodgson gives Newell just enough racing room, but look how quick David Hunter was on the exit of the corner. Is he going to pick up a slipstream from David Newell as he come up over the crest? I tell you what, no, because Newell's obviously in the slipstream of Hodgson. Newell pops out. Can he go down the inside? No, because there's a yellow flag. You see it on the inside there. And double waved yellows down at McIntyre's. That will be for the stricken number 71 car of Ryan McLeish. Good bit of driver awareness from Newell there. He could have possibly made that move on Hodgson, but he would have seen the yellow flag. And he doesn't want to be doing anything silly like that. Strickland overtaken under yellows. Up the back straight though. Look at this. Newell goes round the outside of Jordan Hodgson almost. He tries to cut back towards the inside. Jordan now having to drive quite defensive. Where's that teammate to teammate? Look at that. He hangs David Newell completely out to dry, does David Hunter. And then he thinks he's had enough of his teammate. He goes 3 wide up the inside. From 3rd to 1st for car number 6, Dave Hunter. What a fabulous, fabulous bit of driving there. Used the slipstream absolutely perfectly to get through. And Ben Mason goes round at the hairpin. Now, did he spin himself or was he pushed? That's what we need to find out. Great shame for Ben as he joins behind Colm O'Sullivan and John Bushby. But back at the front, it is number 6. It is David Hunter from Jordan Hodgson, number 8. And number 60, David Newell. From 3rd to 1st in one fabulous, fabulous overtaking manoeuvre for Hunter. Has he got enough left in the tank though to hold this towards the end of the race, or is it going to all go and kick off again as another spin further down the pack for Mark Beattie there, having a bit of a disastrous weekend unfortunately for Mark. As we look back now to Jordan Hodgson, you can see the slipstream effect working. Hodgson, will he go past or will he drive up behind him? Just drives up behind him, but that's going to leave him lame because Rally Dave has a think about that at the inside of the hairpin now. But it's not to be. Hodgson did cover that one pretty well on the brakes as they go through and click off another lap here at Knockhill. Again, Hodgson pulls out, but he's got Newell right on his bumper as they come up the main straight. And these guys not able to make too much of an inroad. But look at that, up the inside now goes David Newell. He thinks about it. He cuts back to the outside. He's not going to go around the outside at the top of Duffus unless Hodgson makes a mistake. He's trying to go through at Leslie's. He does. Hodgson sideways up the inside goes Newell. Brilliant bit of overtaking there. Great stuff through Leslie's. So committed through there as they go over all that gravel on the track as well. And did I just see a flash of Ivor Greenwood going through the back of the shot there? The number 37 car who hasn't had the best of runs of getting through the pack. The next car interview could be Greenwood, but we will come back and maybe catch him in a long view. Yes, it is Ivor Greenwood and what looks like Stephen McGill, as Hodgson now looks towards the inside of David Newell at the hairpin. Brilliant line taken through the hairpin by David Hunter. You can see cut back to the apex, got on the power hard and drove that car up and out of the corner. And he's letting these two guys battle behind him as we go on to the last lap. And that is what you want to see in your mirror. Two guys side by side battling with a nice comfortable buffer as you go on to the last lap. Now, can Hodgson hold this one and make it a 1-2 for the Cresta Racing guys? Or can David Newell get right in the mix of this one? And will he make that manoeuvre? The famous David Newell manoeuvre on the way to the hairpin. He's done it so many times where he breaks and goes round the outside of people at that hairpin. Very, very tricky move to get done. And Greenwood is the next car on track, and so is Stuart Black and Stephen McGill. So that's another fast 3-car train as they go in towards Clark Corner. But through Clark's, Greenwood still holds it, but at the hairpin, David Hunter is leading in, and here comes Newell. He's trying that famous manoeuvre round the outside. He brakes. Can he take enough speed and get it through, or is he going to try a cut back as he go up to the checker flag? It's a win for Hunter. It's second for Hodgson, just holds on for third place there. David Newell does come home in third. Fourth was Ivor Greenwood as Kieran Beattie spins at the hairpin on the last lap. But there is your race winner. It's car number 6. It's David Hunter from Jordan Hodgson, and car number 60, David Newell. What a classic legend race that was. That had a little bit of absolutely everything. Fast laps, great overtaking, heartbreak for Ryan McLeish as well. And don't worry, Ryan McLeish will come back to get everybody at another event as he gets towed away by the Mitsubishi. Cracking Legends final. Third place in the Legends final, it's Rally Dave, Davy Newell. A cracking race there, and you're definitely showing the fruits of labour there. You got covered in Prosecco.
Aye, I'm definitely cooled off after that, that's for sure. I had a brilliant race. Disappointed third. Obviously, I'm still looking for that win yet this season, but been plagued with mechanical issues. But anyway, nonetheless, in the final, had a good race. Jordan in particular, well done to Davy for the win. Didn't have anything else for them, so happy with third.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Jordan, cracking race with David Newell there, and that was hard right to the bitter end.
Absolutely, every single race we just seem to have some really good results, so thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. So take the chance as well, pleased to thank my sponsors, Stevens Bakery and Dwan Construction. So fantastic race. Cresta built the car absolutely spot on, not missed a beat all weekend, so really happy with the result.
And a nice little bit of free Prosecco as well. You've got a little bit left in the bottle there.
A little bit left, I will take that back with us.
Okay, well done, mate.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Thank you. And the winner of the Legends final here today at Knockhill Racing Circuit is David Hunter, and what a race that was. You battled through the pack. Once you got to the front, you managed to gap those two guys over a bit of a battle, and wow, great win.
Oh, it was a mega race. Probably one of my best races to date. I mean, starting as good as off the back, maybe 3 rows for the back, and then first lap I got through some gaps that I maybe shouldn't have, but at this time of the year we need to be taking risks, and it paid off, and got a good move on them going into the hairpin and it made it stick. And then when they were fighting, it just gave me that breathing space that I needed to get away and take the win.
Cracking stuff. I don't know how you're feeling right now, but the smell of Prosecco is burning my eyes off of you.
I'm a bit saturated now, but better that than rain, I suppose. It's been a nice day, so I'll take it.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks again, cheers.
Well done. That's it for the Scottish Legends here at Knockhill Racing Circuit today. We've had 3 fabulous racing with great overtaking and lots of action. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.